This week on The Splash, we look into the latest on construction and traffic in West Bloomfield. Then we learn how our local library is staying modern. And later, we explore a tradition that is 45 years strong. The Splash is a production of Civic Center TV. We're a news magazine that covers everything from local news to feature stories, all so that we can bring you the latest from the greater West Bloomfield area. And now, let's dive into The Splash. Welcome to The Splash. I'm your host, Sheena Monnin, and as always, thank you for joining us. There is no doubt that when it comes from getting from point A to point B in West Bloomfield, things are looking up. Samana Sheik has the details.
Welcome back to another construction and traffic update with me, Samana Sheik. This week, I was able to interview Stephen Kaplan, the supervisor of West Bloomfield, and a local business nearby that was affected by the Orchard Lake construction. Let's take a look.
The eastbound lanes have been completed, and that means that our residents, our visitors, our motorists now can enter the shopping centers on the east side of Orchard Lake as they had formerly. Before the eastern lanes were concluded, people had difficulty navigating, turning into and exiting from the strip malls.
With the east side's road completion, construction has now started on the west side of Orchard Lake Road. With this construction in progress, one lane will continue to remain open in each direction to help with the traffic flow.
That will help us out tremendously, especially going into the holiday months. What it will do is when it becomes homecoming season, it's Christmas, Hanukkah, Rosh Hashanah, all the different holidays, it'll bring people and maybe they won't be as afraid to come in to the store and try to, purchase their arrangements.
By constructing the east side of the road first, it helps with the conduction of traffic flow and ensures the road remains open during the heavy construction. Construction workers are planning on installing the same extra road features on the west side of Orchard Lake Road as they did on the east. This includes 8-foot wide pedestrian paths along both sides of the road, drainage improvements, and Americans with Disability Act ADA compliant pedestrian crosswalks.
The service drive will continue to be open on the west side of Orchard Lake Road. So we know that our residents have been inconvenienced. We feel very bad about that. And the Road Commission, of course, controls our roads and decided to complete Orchard Lake Boulevard.
Orchard Lake Road will continue to have more progress within these upcoming weeks. Stay tuned for another construction and traffic update. Reporting for The Splash, this is Samana Sheik.
Looks like a lot of good things are coming with new construction. If you'd like to stay up to date on all the latest traffic reports within West Bloomfield, you can visit wbtownship.org and click on the Road Construction Updates tab on their homepage. Times are changing, and the West Bloomfield Public Library has made significant strides to stay up to date and relevant. Tyler Kieft has the story.
In today's world, information is always at the tip of our fingers or at the click of a mouse. And information hubs like libraries are slowly dwindling. But the West Bloomfield Library has found a way to not only survive in the instant information age, but thrive in it as well.
What we're seeing over time is they want material or information faster and faster. Before, we would say, well, we can get that book, it might take 2 weeks, or we can research and get back to you. Now, they want the books instantly, they want the information instantly.
When I think about what libraries were able to provide a decade ago, they did have some of the same resources, but they weren't as easy for people to access. But what most digital resources provide today is access from wherever the patron might be.
To keep from falling into the same fate as many libraries across the country, the West Bloomfield Library has focused on how residents consume media and found ways to make that media even more convenient for its patrons.
When our residents are entrusting us with their tax dollars, they have expectations that we're going to deliver on their wants and their needs. So when we're seeking out new resources, we want to be sure that it's not something that, they're able to get for free somewhere else.
We've always been ahead. We've been proactive. So we were one of the first ones to have ebooks. We were the first library, one of the first libraries in the area to have internet access for the public. So I think that if you looked at us compared to others, that we have a really proactive stance.
And that proactivity pays dividends in keeping West Bloomfield residents flowing through the library's doors.
We're all together on a page, on the same page, to work towards our mission. And our mission is to inspire, educate, empower, and enrich the lives of our diverse community. And so technology has been a great tool for that. But also, we still have those books that everybody loves to read. Because here in West Bloomfield, when you look at our just under 3 million circulation a year of materials, the majority of those materials are still the book.
Reporting for The Splash, I'm Tyler Kieft.
For more information on how the West Bloomfield Library is staying modern, visit civiccentertv.com/librarytech. Still to come, we journey through a time-tested tradition almost half a century old. Don't go away.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV. And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm your host, Sheena Monnin. While some traditions have found their way into museums and documentaries, others have remained useful because of the people who are dedicated to using their skills to help others. I recently did a little digging myself into one of these time-honored pastimes. Some traditions span over a period of years or even decades. In West Bloomfield Township, for the past 45 years, a group of ladies has turned their passion for quilting into something more.
The CoverGirls, which is the name of the group, had been working on quilts in the church. And what they do is they sew up these quilts and put them together, knot them, and then put the binding on. And then they package them up and send them off to Lutheran World Relief. And it's an organization that actually goes out, and when there's disasters in the local area, they send out the quilt.
We probably made 7,000 quilts and sent to this because this was what they did. And when they started out, we had a group of 14 or 15 quilters and did about 4 quilts a week.
Most of the CoverGirls are avid sewers who have been in the group for years. Regardless of experience, however, each member has a specific role in making the quilts.
Well, usually the top of the quilt is made by one person. And so that usually takes about a half hour, 45 minutes to put together. And we usually take them at home because a lot of us do have sewing machines at home and we put the tops together.
I do a lot of the cutting but there's other people that also do the cutting, but I do a lot of making the rectangles. And
now my job has become the sewer of the seam on the quilt. So I'm at the machine and we sew down the hem that they pinned together earlier, and I usually get 2 of them done in a morning.
While quilting can be tedious and very detailed, the ladies make sure to take time to socialize, one of the reasons the group has remained so strongly united over the decades.
I personally enjoy it because of the socialization that I get out and I can actually bond with a bunch of women.
I heard about it, and it's on Tuesdays. I thought, well, great, I'm right across the street. I can come over. I'm not a member of the church. It's just I've really always been interested in quilting, and with it being so close to home, There's no excuse not to.
Both novice and experienced volunteers can lend a hand each week to support this cause.
We do accept donations of used sheets or even new sheets. Any size, we don't turn the size away. If you bring in a whole set, including pillowcases, we'll use the pillowcases.
You don't have to have any experience to come to the table, because all you have to be able to do is to put the needle through and tie knots, and anyone can tie blankets.
It's a neat thing to do, and it's nice company. You come across the street and you talk with nice people and enjoy yourself.
This weekly group brings both warmth and generosity not only to our local community, but also to our state and around the world. If you're interested in joining the CoverGirl's Quilters or making a donation, you can find more information on the group at civiccentertv.com/covergirls. Now it's time for another episode of Sidewalk Talk, where Samana Sheik spoke to Greater West Bloomfield residents about their experiences.
Hi everyone, this is Samana Sheik, host of Sidewalk Talk. I recently paid my cell phone bill and I couldn't believe the amount. What similar bills do you have angst about?
Oh, that's got to be Comcast cable. It seems like my bill continues to go up every month, unless I call and complain.
My cell phone bill. I am not kidding. Actually, it's most of the time the same amount, but I'm thinking there is no way this should cost as much as it does.
So yeah, that would be my mortgage, and one day we'll have our house paid off.
The phone bill or the internet bill, those bills are like ridiculous.
Maybe for Detroit Energy, you know, sometimes I pay around 20, sometimes over 100. It depends on weather.
That would be the credit card bill, because my wife and my daughters also use the credit cards.
I mean, for one, I'm in college right now, so that is shocking. You know, any kind of class you pay for, that and gas bills, definitely.
What's the monthly bill you pay where the amount always shocks you?
My Visa. Everything, you know what, everything else is predictable, but I would say maybe my Starbucks bill. That's probably the most shocking of all.
The Visa bill, and that is strictly because of Amazon, because it feels like you're shopping for free, and then you get the bill, and you're like, wow, I really bought a lot, but I love it.
My car payment, it comes out of my checking, and I just hate when that money disappears.
I don't know if it's considered monthly, but when I get my car insurance bill, I get really uptight.
Health insurance. Because it's not really health insurance. It's like sickness insurance. It's there in case something goes drastically wrong in an instant. That's what it's there for.
I'm going to be honest, and it's probably not a, 2000 thing to say, but I don't pay my bills. I never see my bills, and I never see my paycheck. So nothing shocks me.
A monthly bill that managed to surprise me would probably be the electric bill, because then I know someone's leaving something on all night.
Thanks for the great answers. We hope to see you on another one of our episodes of Sidewalk Talk.
There's no doubt that paying bills is not necessarily the most fun part of life. If you'd like to see some of our other fun and interesting questions on the show, you can do so anytime and anywhere by visiting our website at civiccentertv.com/sidewalktalk. And now it's time for our Civic Center event update, where we provide you with all the latest that's happening around Greater West Bloomfield. And if you'd like to stay up to date on all of the following current events yourself, you can visit civiccentertv.com/events. Let's get started. The Southeast Michigan Council of Governments is running a regional survey seeking input from Southeast Michigan residents to help develop a long-range transportation plan for the region. The results of this survey will help form the 2045 Regional Transportation Plan for Southeast Michigan, leading billions of dollars of investments in our area's transportation infrastructure and operations. To take the survey, please visit simcog.org/RTP. Solicitors will be canvassing in West Bloomfield over the next several months. Comcast will be canvassing now through November 10th on Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Active Environmental will also be canvassing now through November 24th, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Please be advised that these solicitors are approved to be canvassing in the area. For more information, please contact the West Bloomfield Clerk's Office at 248-451-4848. Quilts, samplers, embroidery, and applique have been used to tell meaningful stories, sometimes historical, sometimes religious, and often, as in The Fabric of Survival, the art of Esther Neisenthal Krinitz, deeply moving. On September 13th at 11 a.m., join in on this lecture to explore the beautiful work of Esther Neisenthal Krinitz, as well as a range of other stitched examples from the Torah Ark curtains to 20th century quilts and samplers at the Janice Sharrock Gallery in West Bloomfield. Admission is $5. For more information, call 248-432-5467. On September 13th at 1 p.m. at the Jewish Family Service, Mind University presents the Alzheimer's Association Community Connect, Your Brain and the Powerful Impact of Music. Come learn about the way the music we listen to can affect our minds and change our lives. To sign up, contact Angela Popoff at 248-592-2671. On September 15th from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., come out to Kego Harbor City Hall for Kego Harbor's Skate and Activity Night. The city will be closing an entire block for this old-fashioned community get-together, which will include live entertainment, games, food, and refreshments. Raffles will be held to help fund next year's event, which supports families in the local community. For more information, visit www.skateandactivitynight.com. West Bloomfield High School is having their annual Family Fun Night on September 15th, starting at 5 p.m. Stop by for a myriad of fun, family-friendly activities at West Bloomfield High School. In the event of inclement weather, the activities will be moved inside. No registration is required. After socializing, be sure to stick around for the West Bloomfield High School football game, or tune into the game on our very own 89.3 WBLD, the all-new Lakes FM. If you enjoy great music combined with a historic message, then you won't want to miss Music at Main, held in the main meeting room at the West Bloomfield Public Library on September 17th from 3 to 4 p.m., and then again from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. Musician Ray Kamale is known for his jazz and folk guitar music that delivers a powerful message coupled with his stories on the development of music throughout American history. Be inspired to branch out of your comfort zone and relax to some tunes you may not have heard before. If you or someone you know is in need of fresh food, stop by Temple Israel on September 19th, 3 to 5 p.m. to pick up free fresh food. A photo ID is required. Please note this is not a drop-off date, but is for individuals and families in need of fresh food. Forgotten Harvest is partnering with Temple Israel to bring supplies to West Bloomfield to support locals in need of fresh, nutritious food. For more information, call 248-661-5700. And that's all for now. However, if you're looking to find even more events going on in your neighborhood, then be sure to follow us at civiccentertv.com/events and look up our events calendar, or watch us here for more information on everything going on in the greater West Bloomfield area. As we head into the break, stay tuned, because afterwards I'll be talking with Patrick Watson, principal of West Bloomfield High School.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV. And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm Sheena Monnin, and joining me on the show this week is Patrick Watson, principal of West Bloomfield High School. Patrick, thanks so much for being with us today. Now, I hear you have some really exciting news to share with us, so let's go ahead and jump into it and get going. From what I understand, a bond was passed earlier this year, which is going to bring some revolutionary new changes district-wide for the school system, as well as specifically to West Bloomfield High School. So why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about that and help us get excited about it too?
Great. It truly is exciting. So as a district, we passed a $120 million bond, and there's going to be upgrades at every building, and we're actually going to build a new middle school, which is really exciting. But for me as a high school principal, it really gives me and my staff and the whole community the opportunity to reinvent the high school and work on making learning spaces that are better suited for today's needs and what the students really need. For example, students really need flexible seating and furniture so they're able to move into groups, move into a lecture hall type setting and do it really quickly. So all new classrooms by next school year, fall of 2018, will have all new furniture. We're going to have $7 to $8 million in upgrades in the auditorium. We're going to construct a health and wellness center and also have an auxiliary gym which will support our students in athletics and our students in fine arts. So it really is an exciting time at the high school. So right now we're kind of going through the planning phase, and we're looking at ways that we can enhance every single classroom in every area, bring in more natural light, upgrade technology. So it's really an exciting time to be part of the high school and a part of the community. As for the new middle school, that's a little further down the road. I know that the central office is going to be putting the committee together to which will make a middle school that'll be one of the nicest middle schools, if not in Michigan, but in the country as well. So really looking forward to being part of that process. There couldn't be a better or brighter time to be a student in the West Bloomfield School District with all the enhancements that we have going on.
That really sounds like it. Wow. Now, when you say you want to bring in more natural light and things like that, are we talking breaking down walls and bringing in what kind of structure? Wow.
So we have a lot of lockers that are actually on outside walls. And students, for whatever reason, don't really want to use the locker. So we're going to relocate lockers and actually make them a size that would fit today's students as opposed to what a student carried in 1971 when the building was constructed. And then blow out those walls, glass it in, and then glass it in on the other side. So imagine you're a teacher, it's a nice sunny day, but unfortunately you're stuck in a room that doesn't have a lot of sun. You now have a space where you can bring your students down. Every student has a device. And now they're going in this area. It's kind of like a Starbucks or a Google worksite with that different type of modern furniture that can move. You've got all glass on one side letting the sun in. You've got all glass on the other side going out into the hallway, so you have that quiet work area. But just to sit in the sun and really work. The days of sitting in a single file row with 25 kids in a class and having someone talk at you for an hour, we have block scheduling, 98 minutes. Really are outdated and a thing of the past. This is going to, again, allow teachers to teach students the way they want to be taught in spaces where they learn best. So if you've had an opportunity or you remember going back to college, all the neat spaces you've had, that's kind of what we're recreating. We're doing the same thing in our eye center. That's kind of become like our student union at West Bloomfield High School. So you come in the morning, you want to get a cup of coffee or a hot chocolate, you want to print some papers, you want to play some games with friends, you want to sit by the fireplace. The eye center has become that space. With the construction, we're going to increase the size by 30%.
Wow, that sounds significant. It's really exciting.
It is.
And something else I wanted to sort of focus in on too, as you mentioned earlier, a health and wellness center and something to do with a new fine arts facility. Briefly, can you tell me a little bit about both of those?
So the health and wellness center will be pretty much adjacent to where the new gym's going to be, or auxiliary gym, or just above it. The idea is to give the students access to a yoga type room, cardio room, and things like that. Mm-hmm. We are one of the few schools that has implemented a health and wellness program, not just for our staff, but our students as well. So we're looking to actually make sure we continue on that with the students and have more offerings for them. The goal is to educate the students to be the best in and for the world, and that means social emotional, and all aspects of the student.
Yeah, that sounds very progressive.
As for fine arts, I've been at the high school 24 years. We're very fortunate. We've had so many students that have been involved that have gone on to professional careers, whether on Broadway or acting or in music or actual artists. So we're doing 2 new things in fine arts this year. One, we're going to have the Fine Arts Wall of Fame. So we're working on the criteria for that. The goal is to really honor all those former students that did all these great things while at West Bloomfield and all the great things they've done in their professional career. So our students have someone to look up to and really know these are the students that kind of paved the path for them. The other thing we're going to have this year is a Fine Arts Scholar Breakfast. We want to recognize all those students who poured all this time after school, during school, to doing all these amazing things and maintain their GPA at the same time. It's really a chance to celebrate those students in fine arts. We get feedback every year from the students through our survey. And one of the things the fine arts students shared with us is, we wish the school recognized us a little bit more.
Yeah,
we wish
absolutely.
we were celebrated a little bit more.
Yeah,
We're trying to do
normally
that.
like athletics and things like that are the things that are focused on. And I love to see some balance coming in. That's really exciting. And it's great for the students there too, it sounds like. Now, these changes are very significant. What kind of a timeline are we looking at moving forward?
A lot of it's going to be short for the high school. So June of 2018, almost every single classroom will be updated. All new furniture will be coming in. We have 3 classrooms that have demonstration furniture right now, so that all teachers have a say and students have a say in what works best for them. And it's really important that we get input from our students. They know what works best for them. We shouldn't be trying to guess. So they're going to be included in the
that open
process
communication, absolutely. So we're looking. I think you said earlier something about 6 years. It's very doable.
6
very
years
exciting
with the new middle school and everything
everything
else. It's going to be. It's a great time.
Wow, it is such an exciting time, and I'm glad you were able to stop by and share that with us to get everyone excited and enthusiastic about more progressive learning methods. I love it, and thanks for stopping by. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Once again, everyone, this is Patrick Watson, principal of West Bloomfield High School. Now let's head over to another of our recurring segments called The Biz, where we learn some important information on how locals can maintain their pearly smiles.
I'm Daisha Banks from Civic Center TV, and on this episode of The Biz, we're here at Caring Smiles Family Dentistry in West Bloomfield, and we're going to talk to you about the importance of oral hygiene.
It's important to have good oral hygiene because a lot of people don't know that it is directly connected to the rest of your body, and so there's ways that we can detect if somebody could possibly have diabetes. There's also ways that we can detect if someone could possibly have heart problems too. So being able to have good oral health and doing the proper things at home, brushing twice a day, flossing twice a day, definitely can have a positive effect on somebody's overall health as well.
Although brushing your teeth is the most common way of maintaining oral health, flossing and using mouthwash can be just as important.
It's important to floss because when you're brushing your teeth, you're only getting certain areas of the teeth. So a tooth has 4 sides and then the top. And so when you're brushing, you're only getting the front and the back and the top. So that's 2 sides that are not cleaned at all with the toothbrush. So it's important to get the floss in there to get everything out that's hiding from food particles. Even if you're flossing, you don't see anything coming out, you're getting out bacteria, and that's helping to keep your gums healthy from gum disease and also from cavities.
And then brushing your tongue. Brushing your tongue is really important because a lot of times 80% of the bacteria that causes bad breath and other issues such as cavities actually resides in your tongue. So ignoring your tongue can definitely cause those problems. And then using mouthwash as well. Mouthwash and gargling, that also, a lot of times bad breath also starts in your throat too. So all those combinations of things, as well as limiting the amount of sweets and sugar and candy that a person is eating at home, can definitely play a good role in preventing that.
Reducing your daily sugar intake is not only important for your health, but also your teeth, because when you consume multiple grams of sugar, it produces acids that dissolve and damage the teeth, leading to decay if left untreated.
A lot of times people may not know that there's a lot of sugar in items that they think may be healthy. A lot of juices out there are full of sugar, or a lot of the sports drinks such as Gatorade and some other ones out there are full of sugar too. And so those are the type of things that, even coffee, people put sugar in their coffee, but those are the type of items that people will sip on throughout the day, and they'll not know that that could be causing cavities. And I always stress to patients that it's not about how much sugar you have, but it's actually the duration of time that that sugar is sitting on your teeth. So I recommend to patients, if you're going to drink the juices or the sodas, to limit it to mealtime, because it's only a small portion of the time that you're having a drink versus sipping on it throughout the day, and that definitely can cause problems.
And when you don't take oral health care seriously, it can actually lead to far more serious issues than just a bad toothache.
Bad oral hygiene can lead to a lot of different things. People most know about cavities. Nobody wants to go to the dentist and find out they have a cavity. But it's not just that. It's also taking care of your gums. If you're not doing a good job taking care of your gums, it can lead to gum disease. Gingivitis is the number one stage, the first stage of gum disease, and then after that it gets worse. And a lot of people have gingivitis and don't even know about it.
A lot of times the first thing that we're looking for when we see someone that has some sort of gum disease, which is sometimes also known as periodontal disease or bone loss, is that it can be the first signs that somebody could have an issue with diabetes. So there's a lot of different ways that your oral health and signs that we can find in the mouth. Another big thing that we're looking for is oral cancer. So we're doing oral cancer screening when someone comes in. We're checking their tongues, we're checking around their cheeks, and we want to make sure that we're informing them of anything we see and what they should be looking for at home, because the earlier we can find any problems, the better for the patient, and they can relay that on to their physician as well.
What a great experience we had at Caring Smiles Family Dentistry in West Bloomfield. We learned about brushing our tongues, flossing, and the importance of it all. I'm Daisha Banks for Civic Center TV, and that's your biz.
Always a good thing to remember. Visit civiccentertv.com/thebiz for more information. Now it's time for our final segment on The Splash, called Person of the Week, where we recognize those within the community who are either inspiring or providing toward others. And this week's recipient is Peter Forehand, Vice President of Thin Blue Line USA. Peter's work at Thin Blue Line USA helps keep law enforcement and other public defenders top of mind through their production of about 300 unique products that support the good work public defenders do for our community and our country. Together with founder Andrew Jacob, Peter has worked tirelessly to promote and expand the products that Thin Blue Line USA creates so that more people can show their own support of our public defenders and their families. Through fundraisers supporting families of fallen officers, scholarship funds for children of first responders, and supporting local outreach events for law enforcement personnel, Peter works to ensure our law enforcement officers and their loved ones know they are appreciated and important to each and every one of us. Peter Forehand has dedicated his career and his business to bettering the lives of those that risk their lives to protect ours, which is why he is our Person of the Week. And if you happen to know someone who is providing a service to their community, then let us know by sending an email to thesplash@civiccentertv.com. We want to congratulate those who are making a difference in our area, and we appreciate all of your suggestions. And that's going to do it for us this week. But remember, you can watch new episodes of The Splash every Monday or throughout the week for replays. You can also watch every episode online at civiccentertv.com. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook under Civic Center TV 15, YouTube at Civic Center TV 15, and on Twitter at Civic Center TV for more information. For all of our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Kego Harbor, and West Bloomfield, I'm Sheena Monnin. Thank you for watching The Splash.